Hi there, it's me, Gamer Todd here. I'm recapping Star Wars Ahsoka, Season 1, Episode 4, Part 4, Fallen Jedi. Please subscribe, watch the videos, and donate. Thanks. Let's get started. On Ahsoka's Tano's T-6 shuttle, Sabine Wren tries to contact Home 1 and Hera Silulia via comlink, but it is still broken. The droid says he will try and cannibalize some wiring from the signaling motivator to see if he can rewire the transmitter. She then goes outside to see Tano looking at the forest around them. She tells Tano that comms and the primary power converter are still offline, preventing them from leaving or sending a transmission. Tano informs Sabine that the enemy base is nearby and warns that the enemy has the map and the means to go to where they want to go. Tano believes that they have a difficult choice if they can't make the journey to find Ezra Bridger. She concludes that no one should. Ren doesn't want to give up, but Tano says this is better than allowing Thrawn's return as the heir to the Empire. Tano advises Ren not to allow her emotions behind her progress, and Ren rigidly nods when Ren then goes inside the T-6 to prepare to find the enemy ground base. The droid exits the ship and asks if everything is alright. Tano warns the Arch-Tech droid to be careful outside the ship. The first HK assassin droid watches him. At the Sentosa Rex point, Shin Hati and Marok informed Bayan Skull and Night Sister Morgan Elizabeth that their forces have located the enemy ship about 12 clicks away. Elizabeth says her guards won't delay them. Skull says she will, and that they shouldn't get underway. Elizabeth senses Skull is nervous, but he responds that it is experience. So the T-6 Ren puts it's on her armor and loads her twin pistols. Ren and Tano talk about the former's feelings for Bridger. Tano tells her that they must sometimes put aside their personal feelings and do what is right. When Ren is asked if she really believes that, Tano says that she must do that when the stakes are high. Meanwhile, the droid fixes the lighting, but an HK-87 assassin droid attacks him. The droid calls out for help as he defends himself. When the assassin droid attempts to muffle him, the droid breaks free and severs a wire severs a wire to alert the others, causing the T-6 interior to go dark again. Tano and Ren noticed the change and rushed outside. Tano and Ren battled the guards with the droids struggling with the assassin droid. Tano uses her force powers and lightsaber skills to defend and kill the intruders, while Ren does the same with her combat and marksman skills. The droid manages to defeat the assassin droid but tells the woman that the attack will set him back. Tano instructs him to prioritize repairs to the transmitter and to contact General Scalia urgently. Droid counsels Ren and Tano to stay together, saying that they did better that way. Board the Home 1, First Officer Vic Hawkins catches up with General Scalia as she is walking with her son, Sergeant Scalia, and her Archmech droid chopper. Scalia tells Hawkins she is unwilling to wait for orders and tells Hawkins to think of something. Hawkins readily agrees to help. Aboard the Ghost, Jackson asks his mother why he has to listen while she can disobey she can disobey orders. So responds that generals can sometimes disobey orders and tells him to buckle up. Jabber watches. The ghost is accompanied by a 5 T-65B X-wing starfighters flown by Captain Carson Teva and Lieutenant Bicey, Moat, Jinsu, and Lander. Teva tells her about the risks, but Soya says that she has always been a rebel. Teva addresses her as Phoenix Leader, and the squadron jump into hyperspace at Soya's command. Jackson pulls the hyperspace lever back at the Senatos reflect point. Elsbeth tells Skull that once the guideline has been established, they'll be able to calculate the hyperspace coordinates. Skull warns that if her calculations are slightly off, they will be lost to the intergalactic void. Elsbeth tells him to have faith that Skull is skeptical. Elsbeth touches the map which projects a holographic projection of the pathway to Paradia. He mutters that this is witchcraft. Aboard the Eye of Sion, a navigator droid begins calculating the hyperspace coordinates to Paradia. Meanwhile, Ren and Tano encounter Hati and Mark inside the forest. Ren shoots at Hati with her twin blasters, but the Postulite is able to deflect her blast with her lightsaber. Tano faces Marok and draws one of her one of her white lightsabers. Marok activates her double-bladed spinning blade lightsabers, and the two engage in a lightsaber duel, seeking revenge for their earlier duel. Ren chases Hati through the forest. Ren corners Hati among a cluster of trees, but the Darksider uses her force powers to hold Ren against the tree, knocking her off her helmet. Hati attempts to strike down Ren, but the Mandarin dodges her blade, which strikes a tree trunk. The two fight with lightsabers, with Ren drawing her green lightsaber, while Elsbeth and Skull oversee the calculations of the hyperspace coordinates. The Force users continue their fight in the forest. Marok spins with his lightsabers before charging at Tano. However, the Tano dodges and slices him across the chest with her lightsaber. The fallen Marok kneels, and a green mist is released through the cut of his armor. The death of Marok interrupts Ren's duel with Hati. Ren tells Tano to get the map while she deals with Hati. After Tano leaves, Hati warns Ren that she will regret this decision before resuming the fight. Elsewhere, Elsbeth continues her calculation and asks Skull with protecting the map until she calls for him. Tano reaches the Senatos reflex point and sees the Eye of Sion hovering above. Tano enters the hinge where she encounters Skull, who tells her that Anakin Skywalker spoke highly of Tano. When Tano says that she doesn't know Skull explains that everyone in the order knew who Skywalker was, but that few saw who he became. She asks if Skywalker's fall to the dark side of the Force motivated her to leave the Jedi Order. Tano refuses to discuss her past and throws aside her cloak. Skull responds that he is here to rescue the future for something far greater. Tano asks him to consider the ethics of starting another war. Skull replies that he is not starting another war, but says that Dawn will. Skull talks about the necessity of evil, destroying in order to create. Sun reaches her lightsaber. Skull admits that this is inevitable and ignites his own lightsaber. The two cycle into a position around the holographic display of the galaxy before pairing. The two lightsabers use the return for a second round, and Tano manages to strike Skull, but he fights back. The two briefly cross blades before Skull maneuvers Tano against a rock. Aboard the bridge of the Eye of Sahan, the navigator droid informs Elsbeth Tano has an enraged Skull at the hinge. When she asks how long it will take for the coordinates to be ready, the navigator droid assures her that the calculations are almost complete. Back on the ground, Skull hurls a rock against Tano, but she slices through it with her lightsaber. While the navigator computer reaches its third quarter, the two former Jedi continue their fight. Elsewhere, Ren and Hati continue their lightsaber duel as well. Hati hits Ren and manages to knock her to the ground. Ren reaches out her hand in an attempt to use the Force, but Hati points out that Ren has no Force powers. She attacks to strike Ren down, but Ren knocks the blade out of her hand with a dart. As Skull counters Tano, he taunts her, and her weakness is one of death and destruction, just like her late master. This enrages Tano, and she knocks Skull to the ground. Tano manages to grab the map's orb and interrupts the production of the orb, burns her hand. Elsewhere, Hati manages to temporarily blind Ren with a smoke bomb and flees. The navigator droid informs Elsbeth that the hyperspace calculation is incomplete. Tano's interruption of the hyperspace coordinates calculation angers Skull, who resumes his lightsaber attack. Shortly later, Hati arrives and Skull tells her to grab the map. Tano uses the Force to hurl Hati against the rock. And enraged Skull advances to Tano and drives her to the edge of the cliff, which overlooks a sea. Conflict, but blames Tano. Ren arrives and tells Skull to stop. Tano tells her mentor and friend to destroy the map, but she instead warns Skull to stay away from her master. Skull instead strikes Tano with his lightsaber, causing her to fall off the cliff. Horrified at the presumed loss of her friend, Ren attacks Skull with her blaster, but the former Jedi deflects the blast. When Ren then holds the map against her blaster, Skull gives Ren the option of following her master's orders or seizing the opportunity to find Elza Bringer, the only family that she has left. Ren claims he doesn't know what he's talking about, but Skull tells her that he knows that Bringer is holding her back. Sensing her thoughts, Skull tells her that she knows her family died on Mandor, because her master Tano did not trust her. Skull tells Ren that the two share a common goal and appeals to her desire to reunite with her friend Bringer. Skull claims that he is serving a greater good and invites her to come with him to Peridia. He promises that no harm will come to her and that she will be reunited with Bringer. Skull says this is the only way and tells her to do it for Ezra. After considering Skull's words, she hands him the map to Peridia. Hati begins first choking Ren, but Skull orders her to stop, stating that he gave the Mandarin his word. He claims he will keep his word. Unlike Ren's former master, Skull plays the map back on the mapping mechanism, allowing the navigator droid to complete the hyperspace calculations and establish a hyperspace route to Peridia. Pleased, Elizabeth orders that a shuttle be sent to retrieve Lord Bylon. Meanwhile, the droid the droid is contacted by General Soya. Ahsoka Tano's droid tells her that they are down on Senatos. Request help. The ghost and its fighter escorts enter the Dinaba system. The droid tells her that Elsbeth's forces have built a massive hyperspace ring and warns them not to let them escape. When Zoe asks about Tano and Ren, the droid says they are on the surface trying to stop the enemy. After Carson confirms the Eye of Sion's location, Soya proposes cutting across the axis and blocking its path. Also informs Skull that the calculations are complete and return immediately per Elsbeth's instructions. Skull destroys the map of his lightsaber, telling Ren no one will be allowed will follow them. Hadi matches Ren aboard. Hadi marches Ren aboard their shuttle. As this ISI rises into their upper atmosphere, the navigator droid tells Elsbeth that they are tracking the trajectory and that they have a clear guideline. So the New Republic ships converge on the ISI, and Tebber orders the X-Wings to lock on S-foils into the attack position. Mott notices that the enemy ship is not launching starfighters. Well, Bicey knows that the enemy is escaping. Skull, Hati, and Ren enter the bridge of the Eye of Sion, where they are greeted by Elsbeth, and navigator droid informs Elsbeth that New Republic ships are in their path. Ren realizes Soya has arrived, but Elsbeth orders her droids to ignore them and try to engage the ship's hyperdrive. Soya Carson detect the hyperspace surge, but it is too late. Mawat's X-Wing is knocked into Bicey's X-Wing by the blast unleashed by the hyperspace jump, killing them. The ghosts and the other spiders manage to survive the surge. Soya and Jackson watch in horror with the ladder, saying it has gotten a bad feeling about this. Trapper mumbles in binary. Meanwhile, the droid attempts to conflict Tano and Ren, but receives no reply. The camera gives an aerial shot of the center of the reflect point and the sea. Elsewhere, Tano awakens in the world between worlds, and a distant voice greets her by saying, "Hello, Snips." Tano calls out to her master, the voice saying she did not expect to see her back so soon. She turns around to find herself staring at the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker. Dun dun dun. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. Help reach 1,000 plus subscribers. Watch the videos fully. Helps increase the watch hours of Supporters Plus. And help fund the show by donating monthly on the Patreon page, starting at $8 a month with 4+ posts per month, or $3 per post, or a one-time donation on the Ko-Fi page. Have a blessed day. See you on next video visit. But for now, bye!